And it looks like we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mind Your Biz. My name is Seth.
And I'm Mrs. Mind Your Biz.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk to you about all kinds of interesting things. We've got news about SBF. Yeah, he's making headlines again. We've got news about your privacy, including your ability to use a VPN if you're a United States citizen, as well as your privacy if you are an EU citizen trying to use relatively anonymous wallets. They don't want that anymore. Also, Binance has had a bit of a scuffle with the CFTC. CZ, or Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, the massive international exchange, has gone on record talking about exactly what his response to that is. But there's some precedent that we need to consider when this high-profile case hits. There's more than just Binance that's in the mix by way of a CFTC decision there. Also, BZX DAO, or BZX DAO, is in the news. Did you even know about them before? Well, you should, because what happens in this next case is probably going to decide precedent for decentralized autonomous organizations as well, and most cryptocurrency projects. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're not new to the channel, be sure you share this video while we are live. Hey, I see I see a VIP in the chat saying, first, hey, what's up? Appreciate you being here with us. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the Fear and Greed Index. Mama Biz, what do we have here?
We're at 59, so down a little bit from yesterday, probably because of everything that's happening with Binance.
You don't say. Well, in my opinion, it's probably more to do with the Bitcoin price going negative. Again, I think price is the leading indicator, and then sentiment follows. People always look at this thinking like, oh, well, this is going to decide which way the market will go. I disagree. I think that Bitcoin price makes people more emotional than they let on, and then the sentiment changes. So I'm excited to look at our Bitcoin chart, but I think you're not wrong. I think it all adds up.
It's all tied together.
Yeah, it is. It's all connected in some meaningful way. Here I am over on the mining chopsticks. Sorry for the little delay there in the transition there on the screen. And we can see that bouncing into that range, the red candle from this week has not broken down out of this stupid candlestick, the stupid chopsticks that I have on the chart. These are not meant to be taken seriously, and this is as good a time as any to remind you. Is this financial advice, Mama Biz?
Nope.
Oh, really? Okay, so should people make their decisions about their trades or their investing based on what they watch on this show?
Nope.
That's totally up to them to figure out. Now, look, I realize you're saying, hey, you're on YouTube talking about this stuff. Clearly, it's advice. Nope. This is education and entertainment. You figure out what you want to do after that point and own your own decisions. I know. It's just a game. I'm just a player, and you're here with me. Thank you. So this is the 1 week chart. Going to go over to the 1 day chart. This is kind of where my comfort level is as far as looking at charts, taking a look at just MACD and RSI, and then making some kind of basic assumptions about, all right, well, this is a channel that they could move through. You can delete this most recent interference there, or we can look at it as a pattern. Some people are saying, oh, no, it's a V-shaped recovery. It's definitely going to bounce back up. If we trace the bottoms, a V-shaped recovery. And I can't help but think, all right, interesting. That's great. I'm more interested in ranges than I am in trying to be that guy that calls this or that, but I'm not a technician. So yeah, I'm more of an armchair investor who really is more interested in the tech, like legitimately more interested in the tech than I am in just number go up or doing daily arbitrage or living and dying by a 5-second chart and having my eyes all bloodshot because I can't sleep because all I do is trade. Yeah, am I throwing shade? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
I love the people that do that. It could not be me. That's all I'm saying. It couldn't be me. And there are people who have way better skill in that pursuit. So take these with a grain of salt, but I think that the most recent red candle days from yesterday and today, I don't think that we're quite over yet. We might be. I mean, but it seems like in this most recent pattern, we're seeing a couple of red days down, but we did see a bit of up and down on this most recent resistance point. And yeah, maybe this is the worst of it. Maybe it is going to start flipping. I mean, that's that short little tomahawk candle right there with the long wick down and then the skinny little body, candle body right there. Maybe that doesn't mean we're in for a reversal. But again, you don't come here for technical analysis, but you know what you do come here for? You come here to take a look at the bubbles.
Oh, bubbles.
All right, let's see what's up on the daily. Mama Biz, what stands out to you?
Well, let's see. FLR, RPL, GMX.
Yeah, what the heck is FLR, right? Flare. Okay. Flare token. And we got Rocket Pool. These are staking pools. That's a staking pool for Ethereum. People are excited, I guess, about that. What else stands out to you?
Well, I said GMX, but also XRP.
Yep, GMX, XRP is also up on the daily. A lot of things are up. Kava, Conflux, even Ethereum Classic is having a little moment, 3% up on the daily. But then, yeah, those few really stand out. Biggest losers over the last 24 hours. Litecoin's down. Render token is down. Stacks is down. Stacks protocol is down. I think primarily because of the bad news with the city coins. That's what the city coins were built on, is Stacks protocol.
Oh,
so it's gonna kind of infect the rest of the ecosystem that they participate in. So that's gonna be a bit of a bad look there. Hey, Technically Bullish says, sup. Heinz Crypto says, good morning, guys. And Kino Casino VIP Fanboy also says, FGT is up. Haha. You're not. I totally looked right past it. You're right.
You can't make this up.
Gosh, yeah. Jeez. Hi, FTT. Oh my gosh. Well, we're living to see interesting times. We've got some news regarding all of that as well. RD27 also says Caspa is up. And let's see, Caspa? Really? Is it up? Let's take a quick look here. All right. Look across the KAS is our ticker symbol. I'm not seeing it here. Maybe you're just shilling Caspa, or maybe you're trying to call out Caspa because there are allegations that it is a secret mining scam. I don't know. Those are strong words, very strong words, right? Some people really dislike Caspa, and then others really love it because they're married to their bags. Technically Bullish says, just longed XMR. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. You can be long XMR on the yearly or the 5-year plan and not be wrong, maybe ever. Monero has really strong fundamentals, some of the strongest. So good for you. Let me know what your time frame is, Technically Bullish, in the chat, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. Those are just the top 100. I think it's funny that we have some others, Frax Share, that are kind of showing up there. Let's see. RD27 says, I'm not. It's actually up. Interesting. What am I missing here? Why is it not being shown here? Yeah, I'm visually. You know what? I'm trying to be thorough and visually scan and just not viewing Caspa on Crypto Bubbles. But yeah, weird. Very, very weird. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get a view of it somewhere. I'll catch a glimpse of it somewhere else. That's not the Caspa logo. That's the Clayton logo. Huh. Weird. Yeah, apologies. It is escaping my view. But point is, Caspa is actually shrouded in a bit of controversy right now. There's a bit of controversy among the mining community where it's more possible to actually make a bag of Caspa from electricity. And then among the investor community where there are some people who are claiming that it is a secret mining scam, essentially, where the leadership of, I think it's Poly Capital, is secretly involved in mining it to the point that nobody can really get ahead of their holdings. So even though it looks like it's a fair launch project where anybody can mine and earn the coins, the allegation is that that group is going to benefit the most because they secretly have the most hash rate. I don't know. Maybe it has merit. It is kind of a stretch to think that they're definitely going to go out and dump all those coins, even if they do. So I don't know. Technically Bullish says swing trader, but long-term hodler also. That's great. Phenomenal. And let's see what else. And Kino Casino says, agreed. Monero feels like the Tesla of crypto. It moves on its own independently of the rest of the market. Yeah, that's true. Though I do like comparing it to Bitcoin. And Mrs. Mind Your Biz, did you know that Monero and Bitcoin can be permissionlessly swapped without using a DEX or a centralized exchange?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a technology called atomic swaps. And it allows one blockchain to trade with another blockchain directly. It's kind of the killer app.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's some really great Monero developers brought that up, or they proposed that a few years ago, covered it here on the show when it was just a white paper before it went into production, and then they made it possible.
Wow.
And they started doing it. But unfortunately, the liquidity pools, people offering trades on both sides, have been kind of shallow. So there's not a whole lot of market depth to go out and just trade your XMR directly for BTC and vice versa. I wish that there were more. It'd be really cool if there were. RD27 says, so it's a cadena, LOL. Woo! Shots fired. Yeah, cadena is also, there's a lot of controversy there as well. There's some people who are really upset about cadena and the allegation that it is mostly centrally mined. So secretly mined. It's not a pre-mine per se, but a secret mine. Some people, that's not a good look for leadership teams if that's the case, right? And appreciate you hitting that thumbs up. Appreciate you sharing this while we're live. Thank you so much for being here with us while we go through some of these news items. Let me just quickly call out the recently discovered tool that we've been just mentioning on the show, and that is hashrate.no. And this is a site that I've mentioned, Mama Biz, that our viewers can use to figure out the profitability of almost anything, ASICs, GPUs, FPGAs, CPUs, all of it, including the newer Intel Arc series GPUs. So there's quite a bit of up-to-date info here that whattomine.com apparently is not keeping up to speed with. But whattomine.com, kind of the big secret there is that they charge a listing fee. So if you want your coin to show up as being profitable to mine, you may have had to pay them. But they're selective about it too. So, I can't fault them. It is a business. They're a listing and aggregating business. It's welcome back to the web. You can never quite tell what is what's actually a pure air quotes report and what is something else. Hey, we got Cesar in the chat saying, smashing that like button. Appreciate you so much. Let's talk about SBF.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yes.
All right.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I got this.
Not Mrs. Mind Your Biz.
What?
Ready, set, body slam. Do it.
Oh, SBF charged with bribing Chinese government officials with $40 million.
$40 million? That's what? Okay. So apparently the motivation was to regain access to accounts worth over $1 billion. I mean, you tell me, would it be worth $40 million to you if you knew you had access to $1 billion?
Probably. Yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
You'd pretty much beg, borrow, and steal to go get $40 million to ensure that you could get access to $1 billion.
Probably. I would do that.
Hey, most people would. If they're being honest about just the arbitrage opportunity.
I would do it legally, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, legally. Like how most Fortune 500 companies legally pay the fines of breaking the law and, get away with a slap on the wrist. Because, it's legal. As soon as you pay the fine, then, you're okay. Legally. It's true. Morally, you're bankrupt.
Oh, my goodness.
Just saying, man. It's a weird game, and it's a weird club, right? It's all one big club over there, and we ain't in it. So, yeah, $40 million to get access to $1 billion. The Deadwood is in the chat saying, morning all, and Cesar says, man, this guy, you couldn't make this stuff up. It's true. You almost couldn't. At this point, though, there's a pattern, so I think the next one, we could probably do a little fake AI news story about SBF doing something that's shady.
That would be fun.
Right? Yeah, I'll create some kind of an avatar inside of ChatGPT, and we'll create an ongoing saga here.
Yeah, and a really nice picture of a 6-fingered SBF. That would be cool. Yeah,
it would be cool. 6 fingers? He needs more fingers to have stickier hands, I think.
He's just so grabby.
Yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The headline is the main thing. Mrs. Mind Your Biz, how much of our crypto do we have on centralized platforms?
None.
And but why? Clearly, these people, they know their business model really well.
I have trust issues.
Okay, me too. Speaking of trust issues, VPN users apparently are going to risk a 20-year jail sentence in the U.S. under the Restrict Act. Restrict, here we go. Make that highlighted red so it's more obviously red hot. But tell me more about this.
Okay, so the TikTok ban bill is targeting a little bit more than TikTok.
What? Okay. Well, do you know kind of what the full depth or the implications are here, or the breadth and depth?
Basically, if they catch you using a VPN to conceal your location, you can be sentenced up to 20 years in jail. I think that's what I read from it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay. Well, and apparently it looks also like the VPNs would be included with violators facing up to $1 million in fines. So the VPN, the groups that run the commercial VPNs apparently are liable for up to $1 million per incident. So if you go to jail for 20 years, they also get a $1 million fine.
I guess.
I mean, up to, in both cases.
Yeah.
Up to 20 years, up to $1 million.
That's what it sounded like. It's crazy town.
It is crazy town, especially in a country where we literally have more firearms than the entire international community combined. I mean, almost including like world powers. We actually have more privately owned firearms in this country. How do they think this is enforceable?
Well, I don't know.
Why are our politicians so incredibly dumb? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Like, that really is my question. Like, rhetorical, but obviously, like, really? How is this enforceable? I don't get it. That and expect very, very soon on Mind Your Biz for us to go over a really quick how to roll your own VPN using completely free public cloud offerings, such as the free tier of AWS or Microsoft Azure, because you can do it with a single script. And this is open source technology. Why does the U.S. government think that they can ban open source code and scripts? I'll never understand it. I really won't. And the moment they make this actually enforceable, I think we're gone. I don't want to live in this place anymore.
Yeah, well, I think that's what we're going to see is a lot of expatting.
Yeah, pretty much. But let's move on. The EU is in on it too. A little bit different. What do we have here? This is a great article. I wanted to line these up back to back.
Yeah, so this one, they have just passed a law. Yesterday they were like proposing it. They voted. They passed it to put limits on anonymous crypto wallets. I believe it's up to 1,000 euros. You can't do any more than that. You will own nothing and be happy. I mean, there it is, guys. The end game is here.
Good luck, EU. Automatic Beats in the chat says, good morning, everyone. And Kino Casino says, WTF, America, criminalizing VPNs? Yeah. And the Deadwood reminds SBF that he should have made his offer in the yuan, because U.S. dollars are no good anymore over there in China. That was his biggest mistake, was not offering them 40 billion plus, yuan, the equivalent.
Oops.
Yeah.
What?
40 million.
What?
Million. I'm sorry. I did it wrong. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't agree with this. Thank you for this piece from CoinDesk. This is just crazy. It's just crazy.
It's
like,
just
why do they think that this is like? I mean, it's more restrictive than the travel rule. It's more restrictive than the IRS's reporting requirements when you're on PayPal to move more than $600 from your account.
I think they just want everybody to move to Asia.
I guess.
It's like let's just make Europe and America really, really suck.
Well, here's the thing.
And you can all leave.
Latin America is making itself very attractive. I don't think we're going to move to El Salvador anytime soon. I don't see that happening. But I do see Nayib Bukele pushing really hard to make it attractive to more Americans. So, like, that's the thing. The brain drain from the United States is so incredibly real. It's so real. First off, the actual average IQ of, I can't even freaking said actual. The average IQ of Americans has provably dropped. And I think in no small part because we're also suffering brain drain. We're actually tempting the most intelligent people to just leave. There's no reason to stay. Almost. Anyway, it's crazy, and it's like they are trying to make it more attractive. The Deadwood mentions Uruguay. Hey, probably not a bad option. Uruguay is a little bit lower in crime than some other places. Beautiful. Peru as well, but there is a lot of poverty in Peru. So there are a lot of these beautiful countries. Plus, you have the Mesoamerican sites, right? Like you got all the ancient sites, Machu Picchu, and all the rest. Like
you're pitching me.
Oh, I am. Hey, and she's like, hey. Can't see it. She's like, I'm getting this could be really good. There are a lot of places to go in the world that are not the United States of America, but are still American. And then also there's Asian countries as well. There's nobody wants to move to India. Sorry, India. Mumbai just does not look attractive, but
Some people, you never know.
I got it. Yeah, Pondicherry and other places. There's just beautiful places to visit, but nobody's like dying to move there, unfortunately. So, hey, get your act together, India. Maybe you could attract. I don't know if they want more people. That's the other thing. They've got plenty of people in India. I don't know if they want other people there. So, anyway, I don't see that being a popular expat spot either. Just saying, we got a lot of other places that we could evaluate, and they all look better by the day. So thank you, EU, for helping make that a very simple decision. Binance also in the news.
A lot in the news, yes.
Yeah.
So they have been accused of violating a lot of laws in the U.S. by the CFTC.
Yeah. Now, this is the commodity, the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission. It's not that hard to remember, but we did get a late start today because I'm really tired.
Yeah.
It's just that. This is that simple.
I'm sorry.
Apologies. But point is, the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, they went after them. Why is this significant versus the SEC going after Binance?
Well, this is all kind of legislation through what?
Enforcement.
Enforcement. And there's an actual word that, again, I'm too tired to remember, but it would have sounded so quippy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, regulation through enforcement. That's the right way of framing it.
No, it rhymes. When I say it right, it rhymes.
Right.
Legislation through adjudication. Is that what it is?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
But, here we are trying to set precedents not through laying out really clear regulations. What is what? They're just saying, oh, you did something wrong, but you didn't tell us what the thing is that was wrong. Oh, well, we're telling you now. That's basically what's happening here.
No, it's like McCarthyism, right? It's like, well, you did something wrong, and it's very wrong. You broke our rules. Cool. What are the ruls?
We'll make them up right now.
They're the ones that you broke.
Yeah.
Well, beyond, it's worse than that. So Jeremy Kaufman of the Library Project, LBRY, they run the Odyssey platform. I hope I don't get totally dinged for saying that on YouTube, but they also had a scuffle with the SEC recently, and it's obvious that they are trying to wear them down. It's a battle of attrition where the SEC is attempting to break down libraries' treasury, right? Like their legal defense fund. They're trying to wear them down in court. And yeah, they characterized it exactly as that. On the court record, you can see the transcript of them saying like, hey, well, we've asked for clarity. We asked you, we submitted a request for comment on our business model, and we've corresponded with you. We can prove it. Here are the receipts. We corresponded with you, and we asked for what the rules are. You didn't tell us. We asked again. You still failed to tell us. Now you have us in court, and we are asking you exactly chapter and verse what part of the law you believe we have violated, and you still can't tell us because there are no laws regarding what we are doing. There's no clarification at all. It's the absolute Wild West. And Gary Gensler thinks he's some kind of cowboy. He, under color of law, he says like, well, you got to protect investors, protect American investors.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He's kind of like the big, land baron who starts to take all the land from all the cowboys free ranging.
Pretty much, yeah. Hey, we got Serpent X Tech in the chat saying, hola, amigo. Long time no see. Appreciate you being in the chat. You are moderator-rated. Thank you, Serpent. Appreciate you. Kina Cosino says, the rules are intentionally vague, subject to legal interpretation. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah. Yeah, they've kept them intentionally vague so they can act like mob bosses, like the mafia.
Well, and what's kind of funny to me about all of this is it's like this back and forth between the CFTC and the SEC, because one wants everything to be defined as a commodity and one wants everything to be defined as a security. And because we don't have that definition, they are almost at odds with each other when it comes to these suits.
Yeah, no, they are definitely at odds. And leadership from the CFTC has gone on record, like just publicly, kind of throwing shade at the SEC and at Gary Gensler, because they're right. There is a lot that's kind of silly about what Gary claims about the cryptocurrency industry. It's probably not true that every single cryptocurrency outside of Bitcoin is a security, but you could frame it that way. You absolutely could. In the same way that you could frame you could frame the do you remember the script sales when we were in elementary school? Where they would sell like coupons and stuff.
Are you trying to tell everybody how old we are?
I am, yeah. I am literally trying to tell everybody how old we are. But in our growing up in the area where we grew up, a lot of the school fundraisers, they would sell coupons that were provided by local businesses. You could, if you wanted to push hard enough, you could frame that as a security because you are offering value. It doesn't pass the Howey test. That's what I'm saying. It fails the Howey test. You could accuse every Southern California school at that time of selling unregistered securities, but you would be crazy to do so because of the tax category of schools.
Right.
The privileged tax category, the privileged status of schools and nonprofit status of schools, most public schools. So, like, you do have to consider the facts and circumstances. You do have to consider the outcome. You also have to consider whether or not there's a victim. And then when you determine there's a victim, you have to consider also, did this person do something themselves that caused their own downfall?
So who are the victims here?
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So, yeah, Gary, cowboy image. How do I erase that from my mind? Oh, boy. Yeah, no, we got to get some Mid-Journey generative AI art up in here of, Gary Gensler as a cowboy. Serpent X says, what's that sheriff from Robin Hood? That's Gary Gensler.
Nottingham, Sheriff Nottingham,
yeah, the
right?
Sheriff of Nottingham. That's he doesn't actually have his own name.
No, yeah,
Does
they
he?
just
He's
call him the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, there you go. He's the Sheriff of Nottingham. Maybe we forego the cowboy hat, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the Nottingham analogy a little bit better.
It is pretty good.
That works. That works.
Right. Yeah.
Who's Prince John then?
Yeah, poor Prince John. He needs taxes too. Yeah, I don't know who is Prince John. Is that the Biden administration? I don't know. We'll develop this, okay? Yeah, updates incoming. But let's talk a little bit more about some of the ramifications of this CFTC case.
Yeah, I liked how this article kind of broke things down a little bit.
Can you break it down for us?
If you could go point by point, I could read it off.
Oh,
there we
hey,
go.
sure.
Tokens labeled as commodities. So the claim in this case is that what we have Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, Tether, and what's BUSD again?
Binance USD. It's their
so that's
stable coin.
Binance's coin.
Yeah, but it's stable by Paxos Global. It's not. It's actually issued by Paxos Global. It's not issued by Binance directly.
Okay.
It's just traded by them.
So basically, if CFTC were to win this, they would also win the debate over commodities versus securities.
Yes. Yeah. Because the SEC, they specifically, they argued that BUSD is an unregistered security, which is kind of like, okay, you can make that claim about all kinds of stable coins. Mm-hmm. Why they didn't make that claim with USDC though? Why? Why did they want so desperately to make it seem like USDC was not a security, but everything else is? Every other stablecoin that has provable
there couldn't
backing.
be any special interest involved in that whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not picking winners with Circle Group. It's so the jokes write themselves, right? Like they call themselves Circle Group. I keep on wanting to put jerk at the end, but like it's just so obviously an American cabal there. And it's not that I'm like anti-American per se. I love this country. I love what this country was for us growing up.
Which is why then if you love this country, you should be rightfully upset about what you see happening. Yes,
agreed. And it's very deeply disappointing. Yeah, very deeply disappointing to see that there's so little understanding of what the ramifications really are here. So yeah, but apparently, the unregistered security allegation is clearly it's damaging, right? That's problematic. To just say that everything I don't like is an unregistered security. We should make that a book. Make that a children's book.
Ooh.
Everything I don't like is an unregistered security.
Yeah, with
by
like
Gary
a
Gensler.
little picture of Gary Gensler as like a baby stomping up and down and crying.
Yeah, like a little like a stuffed panda or something.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Again, also in development, we'll have to figure that one out as well.
Okay, can we see a few of the other points on this article?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm holding this up.
Okay, this was a big one. CZ's phone was accessed, like his Signal account. Signal is supposed to be a privacy
It is, but here's the thing. We need to discuss the ways in which or the limitations of privacy applications. It's never exactly what you think it is. Man, I've got a plugin that's really, really interfering, like just jamming up my day today. Mama Biz, I apologize. I'm having serious issues with just highlighting and using my own freaking computer.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just probably, probably pissed off my NSA handler. Oh, well. What are you going to do?
Like, oh, he's about to say something that makes sense. Let's give him a hard time.
Yeah, you guys think I'm joking. We've all got them. If you work in the cryptocurrency industry, you have one. Yeah, if you work in publishing crypto media, you definitely have a glowy boy assigned to you. And on that note, I can't even, I'm actually unable to access the streaming dashboard over on YouTube right now. So as your comments are coming in, I'm so sorry I can't see them right now. And I can see that our stream going out to YouTube is unbroken right now. I'm presuming that we're still live. But yeah, CZ's phone was accessed. How do they have access to CZ's phone? Well, yeah, they didn't say that they broke into his Signal device. They didn't say that they had that they'd pierced his security. My gosh. It's one of those days. Again, I don't want to live in this world. Please be better, world. Please improve. But yeah, it's not that they necessarily had access to Signal, but they may have had access to his phone. And if they had privileged access to his phone, if he was not running a PIN on Signal, there's always possibility that they could have just navigated through his phone and been able to see his the top level, get access to his Signal account. If things were being auto-deleted, then there's a strong likelihood that they just could not see those messages from within Signal. But there's more than one way to violate somebody's privacy, even if they're using encrypted chat applications. So just be aware of that. The fact that you use encryption, the fact that you use a VPN, doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe from prying eyes, or that you could be safe from prying eyes in the future. Everything you say, everything you're doing, everything you write, everything you text is being logged at all times. It just is. If you're an American citizen in particular, the NSA set up a dragnet in a data center that's based in Utah, right in the mountains, and it's been in operation for a long time, and it's being expanded. It's being actively tended to and expanded, but it's a dragnet. They pretty much just log all internet protocol traffic. I mean, without regard for what it is, even if it's encrypted, they log all of it. And encryption doesn't last forever. Encryption only lasts for as long as it's, as it can. And then as compute power grows and grows, then that encryption can be cracked in the future. So what used to work no longer works. Encryption technologies, most of them from the 1990s, are out of date. The early 2000s even, there are some encryption standards that no longer function because it would be trivial to even use something like a phone to crack that encryption. The compute power is just too great, if that makes sense. In the same way that the average smartwatch contains a few thousand times more compute power than what we used to send people to the moon. Air quotes. It's a cat and mouse game. So yeah, how do they have access to his phone? They may have had access to his phone in any number of ways. But the idea that the Signal team definitely has a backdoor in place, that has to be questioned now. It's always possible, but I don't think that's exactly how they did it. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's more than one way to pierce through somebody's veil of security, if that makes sense. And then if your security is not high enough, then no amount of encryption will protect you. If you have chat messages that don't auto delete themselves, and if you have to use amnesiac systems, they have to just forget whatever you put into them after you're done communicating. But even then, the IP traffic itself is logged by the NSA. So the encryption, if if the messages themselves have been stored, and not just the IP traffic, but the messages themselves, if it's possible for them to have been stored by running through public cloud infrastructure, then they can be decrypted in the future.
Okay.
That was a big brain dump.
Yes.
Not a big brain dump, but a brain dump of large sizes.
Dump.
Yeah, dump. But apologies for that. At the same time, if any of that was helpful, if that helped you understand something new, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up and share this channel. These are the kinds of impromptu, fun conversations that we have here. And I don't know, maybe there's some other channels that do it like we do it. I don't think so. I think that, like your mom always told you, we're unique. So what was the next thing here?
Oh, terrorist activity. They're accusing the officers, employers, agents that they facilitated illegal activities, potentially illegal activities. I don't know. Do we get to sue the government when people do things that are illegal with dollars?
Yeah, U.S. dollars, or the Fed. I'd love that. Let's all go sue FDIC because a drug cartel happened to have money in a bank that was FDIC insured, and they got a payout. I'm sure that's never happened.
No,
ever.
No.
Right? Like, yeah, FDIC insurance would never insure organized criminals, except they have.
Right.
Yeah, for longer than we've been alive, but for as long as the FDIC has been a thing. So, weird. What? Oh my gosh. Oh. Here's the substance of one conversation. Information regarding Hamas transactions. Lim explained to a colleague that terrorists usually send small guns as large sums constitute money laundering.
Small sums.
Yeah.
As you said, guns.
Oh, small sums. Thank you. I actually read that. That's weird. Hey, I'm a little tired. I told you I was a little tired. Lim's colleague replied, I can barely buy an AK-47 with $600. With regard to certain Binance customers, acknowledge, come on, they are here for crime. We see the bad, but we close two eyes. Okay. Well, here, again, you go back to how people are choosing to use their own money. And that's oddly specific, the $600 mark.
Right.
But it's kind of like, okay, $600 barely buys you an AK-47, huh? Wow, times are tough.
It does seem as though there's a lot of context missing from those statements.
Big time. Yeah, and subtext as well, right? Where it's like, okay, were these people just playing around? Because I engage in banter. We engage in banter like that all the time, right? Sarcasm, very common for people who are trained in Western schools.
Right.
To use sarcasm. So especially when discussing things that are kind of darker topics that make you kind of cringe. It's like, okay, well, got to lighten the mood. Try to get a laugh out of somebody because yeah, when you contemplate that some people do actually some messed up stuff, you kind of joke about it.
Right.
That said, if you are working at a bank and somebody pulls $600 out of their account and they happen to have full body tattoos, head to toe, all over their neck, and they look like gang signs and stuff, you're going to automatically presume, well, okay, I guess I have to give you your $600. Don't go spend it on an AK-47.
It's ridiculous.
It's not their business.
Yeah.
What if you're out buying baby formula for a community uplifting event? What if that's a reformed gang member? What if they actually were a gang member and they're entirely reformed and they're not doing community service with that $600? F you. Stop questioning people's motives all the time when it comes to money. Finances do require more privacy. Just saying. So one man at the top. This is the thing?
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. So CZ personally owned and controlled all these entities? Oh my gosh. So they're trying to use how we test language here as well. The Binance platform was their common enterprise. Tell me more.
Oh, I needed more tea before telling you more.
I know, it's okay.
My brain is moving
Ignoring
slow,
U.S. regulatory requirements.
which don't exist. So how can you know you're following the requirements?
Yeah, this is nonsense. Absolute garbage tier nonsense. So, yeah. fines and injunctions. Towards the end of the document, the commodities regulator said it's seeking monetary penalties, disgorgement of any trading profits, salaries, commissions, loans, or fees gained from their purportedly wrongful actions, along with paying penalties to resolve the investigations. Also orders a permanent injunction against further violations. The CFTC doesn't waste its time on jabs. It goes straight for the knockout, said Warren from the Crypto Council for Innovation. Binance has rejected a number of allegations. CZ responded what he termed an unexpected and disappointing civil complaint, stating the company has cooperated with the CFTC for the past 2 years. Let's see. Consistent with regulatory expectations globally, we've implemented a robust 3 lines of defense approach to risk and compliance, which includes, but is not limited to, ensuring mandatory KYC for all users worldwide. They did open up Binance.us prior to the time frame that the CFTC is making this complaint. Maintaining country blocks for anyone who is a resident of the U.S., blocking anyone who has identified as a U.S. citizen, regardless of where they live in the world, blocking for any devices using a U.S. cellular provider, blocking logins from any U.S. IP address, preventing deposits and withdrawals from U.S. banks or credit cards. Yeah, I mean, like, how much deeper do they need to go in order to be compliant, right? It does seem like it's probably frivolous, but at the same time, the CFTC getting a win here, it could cause a lot of change, and there we go.
Hey.
All right. Whoa. And I got a spinning beach ball of death across all of Brave. Sincerely, you have my apology for this being so incredibly painful right now. Let me see if I can kill a new plugin that has been causing me serious grief throughout all this. Let's see if that works right there. And hey, it's back. I can also
moving forward.
I can also see the chat activity. My apologies for all that. Let's see. Serpent X Tech says quantum computers can crack encryption as fast as it is encrypted. That segment is heavily controlled and monitored by state governments. Yep. Let's see. And also, Kina Casino says Asians don't do sarcasm though.
Oh.
They do. The Chinese do sarcasm very well, actually.
That's a funny thing. Do you just not watch any like martial arts movies out of Hong Kong?
But it is more rare, and it's a lot more. They lay it on a lot more thick to make sure that it's obvious. But yeah, no. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump back into some of this news, why it's important. So, yeah. Tell me about what some of the changing of the game is.
Well, the claim here is that this would be like a complete ban that basically shut down all of their U.S. services. It would be a pretty big deal, mostly for Americans, actually, mostly for people in the U.S. working in crypto.
Yeah, this would be huge. At the same time, I don't know anybody personally in the crypto industry that still even bothers to engage with Binance. I mean, really, the ban did wind up working very well for a lot of people who are trying to trade stateside. Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah, I'm having huge issues over here, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm having huge issues with Brave browser of all things. F you, Brave. I'm so close to just going back to like a stripped down version of Firefox all the time. The Tor integration on Brave is garbage. And I keep on running into issues like this. Seriously, like, get your crap together, Brave. I'm so freaking done with you guys. This is the only time I've ever had a problem like this. Again, probably Glow Boys, but yeah. Still running. I don't know how it's still barely managing to run. You see this, my system. Like, I never have stupid freaking problems like this. I'm right on the edge of like.
Take a deep breath.
I've been doing nothing but breathing deeply. I'm in Zen. I'm in my Zen moment.
Yes, you seem like you're in your Zen moment.
100%. Always. Yeah. Got to lock down.
Don't break anything.
I'm cool.
You got this.
I'm cool. All right. So, apparently, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. It could cause damage to Binance, but it could also create some other precedent that really affects crypto.
I think what would really happen though is that, Binance will just take everything offshore as like everybody else is doing. Go where
They already were offshore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just like, okay, why do business here if the US government makes it so cumbersome to work in crypto on our shores? It's like, why even bother? I mean, I feel like we're more affected by it. Like U.S. citizens are more affected by it than Binance is ultimately going to be.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this article claims that like, oh, this could totally like kill Binance, But I think that their U.S. version, their U.S. Branch only accounts for like 5% of what Binance actually does. I think that Binance will be okay. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, the Deadwood also reminds us that there was news coming out of Kenya that the leadership of Kenya was telling their citizens to exit the U.S. dollar. This is Kenya. This is Kenya saying this. That dollars are probably not a safe bet in the next couple of weeks, and they're not wrong.
That should terrify everyone in our country.
Yep. Hey. Yeah, swan.myb.lol. If you don't already have an account at Swan Bitcoin, consider it. It's one of the lowest fee on-ramps into Bitcoin if you're looking at Bitcoin exposure. And I would say Kanga Exchange as well, kanga.myb.lol. It's a way to get into the Polish exchange, Kanga Exchange. They are a de-dollarized country, and they don't have exposure to the euro as well. So Polish zloty is their own currency. So they're independent of some of the other central bank solutions. That said, I don't know the strength of their currency right now either.
Right.
They could totally be suffering. Like no country is an island financially. But yeah, the consequence for Binance execs and employees, it could be dire. It could be really, really dire. Is it time to withdraw cryptos? It's been time to withdraw cryptos. It has been time for quite a while, but let's see if... There we go. Hey, decides to switch tabs. Awesome. Well done. So CZ is refusing to back down. He's pretty great at his PR. He's pretty great at his public responses to any of the to any time that there's somebody trying to attack him. Like really, he gives exemplary executive behavior, right? When it comes to crisis management, he's really good. That's how he got into the position that he's in, right? Is that he's really good at handling crisis moments. But apparently he's not backing down. He gave an initial response, and he's going to continue giving responses, basically fighting back, which they're going to need to do. This is the fight of their corporate life. It's not going to get probably any more difficult than this. I think one of the other implications is that in this CFTC judgment, if it does go through, like as mentioned before, you're gonna have a bunch of these crypto assets that are deemed commodities, which we need. We need Bitcoin and Litecoin and some of these stables to be labeled as commodities, though it's not strictly speaking the best classification for a dollar.
Right.
You don't call a dollar a commodity or a security. You call it currency, just money. So
would it be so bad to just call these things money? No, not that.
Yeah, they can't do that. They really can't. The Deadwood is saying that with the headlines of Kenya that it is 2 weeks or less. 2 weeks or less. China, Russia, and Kenya are all moving away from from USD for payments. Can we blame them? Yeah, we are on the brink of meltdown. So really have another plan. If you don't have food stored, people always talk about, oh, where am I going to put my dollars? Maybe consider just critical infrastructure. Have a little more critical infrastructure.
Think about if you had known a week before the pandemic that you needed toilet paper, you just knew what you needed to get before all of that happened. You're kind of in that place now. Things, Yeah. Don't ever stop being prepared there. And if you're an American citizen, exercise your Second Amendment right and go and get what you need. Get as much as you think that you would need for a time, especially for a difficult time.
Anyway, BZX DAO class action ruling. A dev with an upgrade key makes the platform custodial. Yeah, Delphi Labs General Counsel Gabriel Shapiro tweeted that the ruling can also be potentially applied to developers with multi-sigs. Yikes.
I actually put this one in there because I didn't completely understand it, so I wanted you to explain it to me a little more.
Yeah, I think what they're getting at is that if the smart contract of a project allows for them to control it, then it could be framed as being custodial. And I think that is a decent measure, but that would make USDC custodial. That would make BUSD custodial. That would make USDT custodial. You know what it wouldn't make custodial as far as stablecoins? The DAI stablecoin, and, well, it's less secure. But then also the Liquidity USD, some of these other permissionless stablecoins. We're coming up on almost an hour. I am going to call it a show right here, but this is the latest news right here. DAO token holders are plausibly liable, judge rules in BZX class action suit. So people who hold the tokens of a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, may also be responsible for some of that, some of the custodial actions. And yeah, it could be viewed as, you know, almost like a Ponzi based on the Howey test. If you have too much exposure and you're part of the decision making tree, then you could be held liable for bad things that happen. So yeah, go plausibly a general partnership. They're not wrong. This is why Wyoming offers the DAO rider on an LLC when you form it. And you can place the smart contract that governs your DAO into an LLC structure or a limited liability partnership in the state of Wyoming. It does make sense. So we're finally starting to see some of the legality catch up. I still think it just makes more sense to have an LLC for a business and then have, assign it some holdings in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, but maybe no longer in the United States. We'll see. Mama Biz, we're both tired.
Yes.
We got chores to do. We got some things to do. Audience.
Brain's not working today. Apologies, everybody.
And there's a lot to think about. Hey, we've got Katie, who says, I'm a full-time digital nomad. I have no plans to return back to the U.S. in Thailand now. Only heard good things about Thailand.
Things are changing fast.
Yeah, had a work offer to go, have a co-working space in Bangkok last year. We didn't do it.
So what you're saying is I need to start studying a little more Chinese.
No, you don't. No, you don't have to know the language before you go. You just have to. You have to escape the ruinage, the wreckage.
Oh,
really, the plan is get safe, like get someplace safe, and establish yourself at that point. You don't have to wait for all green lights. Just saying. Hey, the Deadwood says, thank you, Mama and Papa Biz. Always outstanding information. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate you saying that. You guys are the reason that we make this medium. Love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.